isolation, I'm really missing a good pub meal. I've shown you the 3 simple sauces, which is pepper, mushroom and cayenne, how to make those at home. Obviously with those you want to actually serve it with something that complements those sauces. So I basically want to show you a really traditional meal, which is the chicken schnitzel. So I'm going to show you a chicken schnitzel, show you 3 different types of crumbs that you can use on that schnitzel to make a big difference, and also show you the seasoning side of things.
Recipe, you'll need 1 chicken breast, half a cup of flour, pinch of salt, 1 egg, half a cup of milk, and 3/4 cup breadcrumbs.
What we need, we've got a chicken breast. I'm just going to make 2 portions here. So you need obviously the milk, the salt, the eggs, and the breadcrumbs. There's a few different types of breadcrumbs you can do. You could use gluten-free ones if you wanted to, or I've actually got 3 different types here I'm going to show you. One is a panko crumb. Okay, one is a bread crumb, or just usually dry bread, and that dry bread is then just actually put through a grater. And I'm actually going to show you really quickly how to do fresh breadcrumbs. That makes a big difference to the dish if you want a little bit fresher. All right, come over, I'll just show you how to do the crumbs. All you have to do is remove the crust, okay, and then we're going to put this into a food processor and blend that up. We'll just tear it up really quick. Okay, take them off. A lot easier too, sometimes if you preempt making the breadcrumbs, you can actually freeze the bread. It's a lot easier to cut. So let's just slice that in. It's going to go into our food processor. And this is just a stick blender. Just going to put this on. All right, let's basically just cause a nice crust ready to go, nice and light. Okay, we're going to crumb 1 schnitzel in that as well to see the difference. All right, let's go. I've got the 3 different types of breadcrumbs there. We have the panko crumbs, we have the normal dry bread crumbs, and we have the fresh bread crumbs that I've just shown you just before. So I'm going to actually make 3 different schnitzels. We'll cook them off and just see the difference on how they come up once we fry them off. All right, let's get into actually making the schnitzels. Chicken breast here. You can use thigh. It's just might have a little bit of gristle. It'll be quite tender and moist when you actually fry it off, but I prefer the chicken breast. It tends to hold together a bit easier. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to slice this chicken breast in half, okay? And the best way of doing it is flattening it down on the board, have your hand and your knife, you just have horizontal with the chicken breast. So you turn the chicken breast over, it's a lot easier, it doesn't make a mess of it when you're actually tenderising it. So grab some cling film, pull over the actual chicken breast. The cling film just protects the meat so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the mallet. Obviously with the chicken breast it's a lot thicker at one end, quite thin on the other end. So you want to try and get it even, so when you do cook it, it's going to actually cook evenly throughout and not dry out at one side. So we're just basically going to flatten this down. Just make sure it's fairly even. This is about probably 5 mil. So you can see that's flattened out quite nicely, okay? Right, with any crumbing set you need plain flour, so there's a cup of plain flour there. There's some salt and pepper, so I've got sea salt here and I've done some fresh cracked pepper. You can use white pepper if you want to, if you don't want to see the black flakes. That's up to you. You can even use Vegeta, the vegetable based stock powder. You can put that through if you want a little bit of flavour through it as well. Do the egg mix now, so just 1 egg. The 300 mils of milk, that should do the 4 schnitzels quite easily. Just whisk this up. Right, so what you're going to do, you're just going to put the chicken breast in here in the seasoned flour. Okay, make sure you dust off the flour, okay, so it doesn't become gluggy. Usually you'll have a couple of people helping out. I might get Kai to give me a hand shortly. And it's just through the egg wash. I've got the 3 different breadcrumbs there, so we're going to try something a little bit different and see how they come up. So just always drain the egg wash off. And then into your, this is the panko crumbs here. Just make sure you're actually covering the actual schnitzel. Okay, so press down so the panko crumbs are actually covering it. Okay, like so. Actually, I'll get a helper now. Kai. There you are, mate.
Wait, where am I?
You're here to help me crumb the chicken schnitties.
In the middle of the game.
Doesn't matter, this is a better game. This is a life skill game. Kai's turned up, so we're going to get him to give us a hand a bit. So Kai, you're going to actually put the breadcrumbs on it. You wash your hands, which is really important. Okay, so remember, press it down one side. Yeah, and you're going to now flip the schnitzel over, mate. That's it, beautiful. Well done. Okay, we're going to do the rest of the schnitzels. Good work.
This is like very coated. Place it on this chicken span plate and yeah.
Alright, so we're going to cook the schnitzels. We've got the three different types. We've got the pancake crumbs, we've got the bread crumbs, we've got the fresh bread crumbs we made up. What I always do, use a shallow pan. You don't want to deep fry it. In the clubs, yeah, you can deep fry it. That's up to you if you prefer that. But we're just going to shallow fry it. That means half covering the base of the schnitzel with the oil. I also put a little bit of butter in with the oil, and that just gives you some flavour as well, rather than just a real oily flavour to the schnitzel. So you just put your oil on the grill plate. That's on a medium heat. And then you just pop your butter and you just basically, that medium will start to melt through and you will get the flavour of the butter through your schnitzel. That is what we're after. So we're just going to move this around. You can see it's starting to sizzle. We want to heat this up a little bit now. And the best way to tell if it's ready, usually you just get a few crumbs off the schnitzel or a few leftover ones and just come in close. And you just drop it into the pan. You can see that starting to sizzle. That's what we're after. So we're now going to just place these schnitzels in on the heat. You can see them, the heat's high enough, and then we're just going to start cooking these schnitzels off like so. And you can see it's halfway up the chicken schnitzel. That's what we're after. So when we turn it over, it's going to actually cover the other side. All right. There's our pancake crumbs, our dry bread crumbs, and here's our fresh crumbs here. You can see we're getting a little bit of colour around the edge here. If you do that, it depends on your elements, how high they are. Just move it around. I know the heat is a little bit higher at the front here, so I'm just moving it around. Always look at the sides of the product to see if there's any coloration starting there, to know if it's actually getting the colour. So we're going to turn these over now. I've got a little bit of colour there. That's what we're after. Okay, so I'm just going to turn him over. Beautiful. Just check these dry bread crumbs. I'm going to go a little bit longer with that one there. Obviously the heat is on both sides. I might even swap him around just to brown off over there. So that's some great coloration there. Alright, so they've been cooking for about 5 minutes. You can see nice coloration. I'll turn them over. So we're now going to just put them on the platter. They're definitely cooked. I can feel the firmness there. We can actually serve that with the 3 simple sauces that I showed you. Fantastic. If you've got a large family, then just keep the oven on about 100 degrees. Cook your schnitzels and just keep them in there to keep them warm. We're going to serve those up, and the boys can actually serve that with their sauce. All right.